Nor there, history lovers. Buckle up for an incredible journey into the heart of ancient Scotland, where a mysterious and fierce people defied even the unstoppable Roman Empire. Picture this, a shadowy civilization, covered in intricate tattoos, striking fear into the hearts of the most powerful army the world had ever seen. They were called the Picts, a name meaning painted people, and for centuries, they've been one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. Who were they? Where did they come from? And why did they seem to vanish into thin air? Today, we're diving deep into their story, uncovering secrets hidden for over 1,000 years, thanks to groundbreaking science and jaw-dropping archaeological finds. Get ready to discover a people who weren't just warriors, but builders, artists, and ancestors to millions alive today. Let's unravel the enigma of the Picts. First, let's set the stage. While much of Europe was crumbling after the fall of the Roman Empire, a powerful kingdom was thriving in the wild, rugged landscapes of Scotland's highlands and eastern regions. These were the Picts, a people so formidable that even the Romans, at the peak of their might, couldn't bring them to their knees. The Romans nicknamed them Picti, or painted people, because of their stunning body art, elaborate tattoos, and war paint that covered them from head to toe. Ancient Roman accounts describe them wearing little clothing, not out of savagery, but to proudly show off their beautiful designs of animals and patterns. It was as if their skin was a canvas, telling stories of their culture and identity. But their appearance was just the beginning. What truly made the Picts legendary was their sheer defiance and military brilliance against an empire that crushed nearly everyone else. Imagine the Romans, confident in their disciplined legions and heavy armor, marching into Scotland expecting an easy win. They had conquered vast lands after all. But the Picts weren't about to play by Rome's rules. When the two forces first clashed, the Picts would pretend to retreat, tricking the Romans into thinking victory was near. The Romans, overconfident, would chase after them, or set up camp, believing the fight was over. Then, out of nowhere, the Picts would strike. Emerging like ghosts from the dense forests and rocky hills, they'd ambush the Romans with deadly precision, catching them off guard and wiping out entire units. This wasn't just luck, it was genius. The Picts knew their land like the back of their hand. They used the rugged Scottish terrain to their advantage, relying on speed, stealth, and deception rather than facing Rome's heavily armed troops head-on. Time after time, they outsmarted one of the greatest armies in history, using these clever tactics of psychological warfare. Their greatest moment came on May 20th, 685 AD, at the Battle of Nectensmere. Here, the Picts pulled off one of the most brilliant traps in medieval history. They faced a huge army from Northumbria, a powerful kingdom to the south. The Picts lured the Northumbrian forces into a carefully chosen battlefield of hills and marshes, separating their cavalry from the infantry. When the trap was set, they attacked, annihilating the Northumbrian king and most of his army. This wasn't just a victory, it was a turning point. The battle ended Northumbrian dominance in the region and set the stage for the creation of what would eventually become Scotland. The Picts' reputation as fearsome warriors was cemented forever. But while their battle skills are legendary, there's so much more to their story. Who were they when the swords were put away? What kind of society did they build? For a long time, people thought of the Picts as wild, primitive tribesmen, savage warriors with no real civilization to speak of. But recent discoveries have completely turned that idea on its head. Thanks to modern technology like drone surveys and laser scanning, archaeologists have uncovered evidence that shatters old assumptions. Take the site of Taponuth in Aberdeenshire, for example. What they found here is mind-blowing, an ancient hilltop settlement that may have housed up to 4,000 people in over 800 huts. That's not a small village. It's a city, one that rivals the largest settlements in post-Roman Europe. The site was protected by massive stone walls, some of which show signs of vitrification. That means the stones were exposed to such intense heat that they melted and fused together, likely from a sophisticated building technique using timber and stone. This wasn't just a random gathering of huts. It was a well-defended, organized community. And that's not all. At Burghead, another major Pictish site, researchers have uncovered a huge naval base with advanced triple rampart defenses. This wasn't just a fort. It was a military and administrative hub that controlled shipping routes along the Moray Firth. The Picts were masters of the sea, with historical records even mentioning fleets so large that 150 ships were lost in a single storm. These findings show us a society far more advanced than anyone thought. They weren't isolated barbarians. They were connected to the wider world. At elite sites like Rhynie, archaeologists have found evidence of Mediterranean wine being drunk from French glassware over 1,500 years ago. They've also uncovered fine silver jewelry and signs of international trade networks. The Picts had a complex hierarchical society with skilled farmers, talented craftsmen, and a knack for seafaring. They built thriving hubs of trade and culture, proving they were a true civilization in every sense of the word. But perhaps the most mysterious legacy of the Picts is the hundreds of carved stones they left behind, scattered across Scotland. These aren't just random scratches in rock. They're intricate and consistent symbols, featuring strange beasts, crescents, mirrors, combs, and geometric shapes. The fact that these designs repeat with such precision across so many stones suggests they weren't just art. Many experts now believe these symbols are a form of writing, possibly representing personal names or family crests. They might be a way the Picts recorded their clans and lineages over 1,500 years ago. The stones come in 3 distinct types, each telling a chapter of the Picts' cultural story. The oldest, called Class 1 stones, date from the 5th to 7th centuries and feature symbols carved into natural boulders. Class 2 stones show a mix of Pictish symbols and Christian crosses, reflecting the spread of Christianity into their lands. Finally, Class 3 stones are fully Christian monuments, marking the complete shift of Pictish society to the new faith. These stones are like a window into the Picts' minds, showing us a people who were organized, spiritual, and capable of profound cultural change over time. Even today, they continue to captivate us with their silent, powerful message. Now, let's tackle one of the biggest questions. Where did the Picts come from? For centuries, historians spun all kinds of wild tales about their origins. Some, like the English scholar Bede, claimed they migrated from far-off lands near the Black Sea. Others painted them as mysterious foreigners who appeared out of nowhere. These romantic stories fueled the enigma, but they were just guesses. In 2023, a groundbreaking study led by researchers at the University of Aberdeen changed everything. Published in the journal PLOS Genetics, this research used cutting-edge DNA analysis to study human remains from Pictish burials at sites like London Links and Ballantor in Scotland. The results were shocking. Far from being exotic invaders, the Picts were actually indigenous to Scotland, local Iron Age communities with deep roots in the British Isles. Even more amazing, the study found that people from Western Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Northumbria today share the closest genetic similarity to these ancient Picts. If you're from one of these areas, those mysterious carved stones might literally be tied to your own family history. This DNA evidence didn't just solve the mystery of their origins, it also shed light on how their society worked. Some old stories suggested the Picts had a matrilineal system, meaning inheritance passed through the female line. But the genetic data from the London Links Cemetery showed no clear common female ancestors among the buried individuals. This suggests their social structure was more complicated than a simple matrilineal setup. In short, the DNA didn't just answer questions, it rewrote the Picts story. They weren't strange outsiders or savage warriors. They were a sophisticated, homegrown people whose genetic legacy lives on in millions of us today. So, what happened to the Picts? For a long time, the popular belief was that they simply disappeared, leaving behind their mysterious stones but no living descendants. This idea of a vanished people added to their mystique, making them seem like a forgotten, exotic race. But the truth is far more interesting. The Picts didn't vanish, they evolved. By the 9th century, big political changes were reshaping Scotland. Around 843 AD, a powerful leader named Kenneth MacAlpin, who had claims to both the Pictish and Gaelic thrones, united the two kingdoms under his rule. This wasn't a violent conquest where one group destroyed the other. Instead, it was more like a political merger between two peoples who had already been intermarrying and sharing customs for centuries. Over the next 100 years, this united kingdom became known as Alba, and later, the name Scotland emerged. The Pictish language gradually faded, replaced by Gaelic, and many of their traditions blended into the broader Scottish identity that was forming. The Picts didn't disappear, they became part of the foundation of a new nation. Their legacy isn't just in history books or museum artifacts. It's in the very DNA of modern Scotland and beyond. The same genetic studies that uncovered their origins also show a remarkable connection between ancient Picts and people living in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland today. They didn't vanish. They merged with their neighbors, becoming the ancestors of millions. Their culture, their art, and their spirit helped shape medieval Scotland and continue to echo through time. Every year, new discoveries add to this story. In 2024 alone, archaeologists found rare Pictish symbol stones and hints of what might be an early royal Pictish landscape. Each find is like another piece of the puzzle, helping us see this incredible civilization in a new light. Thanks to the latest science, we finally cracked one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. The Picts weren't strange foreigners or uncivilized barbarians. They were a sophisticated indigenous people who built cities, stood up to empires, created beautiful art, and left a genetic legacy that endures in millions of people today. When you visit Scotland and see those striking carved stones standing in the misty Highland valleys, you're not just looking at old relics. You're witnessing the enduring legacy of a remarkable civilization that played a key role in shaping European history. Their story isn't over. It's still being written with every new discovery, and it's a story that connects us all to a past full of courage, creativity, and mystery. So, next time you think of ancient warriors, remember the Picts, a people who painted their bodies, defied an empire, and became the heartbeat of a nation. And by the way, before you go, don't forget to click like and subscribe. See you in our next video, and have a great day.